In the most recent episode of her podcast titled Archetypes, Meghan Markle referred to herself as the ugly duckling when she was growing up. She also claimed that she was the smart one. The third and most recent episode of Archetypes, the Duchess of Sussex's popular podcast on Spotify, featured Mindy Kaling, who is a writer and director. Meghan Markle was in attendance for this episode. During the episode, which was titled The Stigma of Singleton with Mindy Kaling, the two women had an open and honest conversation about what it's like to be single. Mindy drew from her own experiences as a single mother of 2 children, and Meghan discussed the ways in which she thought about relationships and families when she was younger. The Duchess of Sussex has admitted that after witnessing her parents' divorce when she was just 2 or 3 years old, she yearned for a cookie-cutter-looking, perfect life. She remembers spending a lot of time reading Archie comic books and romanticising the idea of a boy in a Letterman jacket, as well as what she envisioned her life to be like in the years to come. In addition, Meghan admitted that she had the impression that she was the smart one, not the pretty one, and that she questioned whether or not she would ever get the guy. She explained, "I always thought, well, I'm way more Betty than Veronica, and I'm going to get the guy one day. And I was the smart one, not the pretty one." So all of this was wrapped up in reading Archie comic books, and I think in some ways it was aspirational. Later on in the show, the two of them picked up where they left off in their discussion of their childhoods. Mindy questioned Meghan, "Was it not you who was the prettier one when you were growing up?" When asked about it, the Duchess replied, "No, oh goodness, no. The author continued by saying, "I was not aware of that." To continue, Meghan said, "Ugly duckling. Look, maybe not traditional standards of beauty, but now perhaps it might be considered attractive. But my teeth were severely mislined, my hair is extremely frizzy and curly. I was the most intelligent one, forever and eternally and ever and ever. And so, after that, I guess I just turned into an adult." She reflected on how tough her school years were, saying how she often sat at lunch by herself and was unsure of where she belonged socially. In the years leading up to her courtship with Prince Harry, Meghan lived a secluded existence in the heart of Los Angeles, far apart from the world of royalty. She was a student at Immaculate Heart High School, a Catholic private girls' school. "I was always a bit of a loner and really shy, and I didn't know where I fitted in," Meghan admitted in the interview. The Duchess of Sussex said in an interview with Esquire magazine in 2013 that she frequently spent her afternoons after school with her father on the set of the television show Married with Children. Thomas Markle was a prominent lighting director in Hollywood, and he would occasionally bring his young daughter, who was already on her way to becoming a successful performer, to work with him. According to Meghan, "Every day after school for 10 years, I was on the set of Married with Children," which is a really funny and perverse place for a little girl in a Catholic school uniform to grow up. Meghan was referring to the fact that she had worked on the show for 10 years. "There were plenty of instances in which my father would say to me, 'Meg, why don't you go and help with the craft services department over there? This might be a little inappropriate for your 11-year-old self to see,' you might say." During an interview in her podcast, the Duchess discussed the ways in which she would keep herself occupied so she would not have to worry about who I would sit with or what I would do. She shared the following with Mindy. "I was like, well, then I'll become the president of the multicultural club, as well as the president of the sophomore class, as well as the president of this and French club. I was always so busy." In a prior edition of Archetypes, Meghan said that she had a difficult time fitting in, telling Mariah Carey that she was a girl of mixed race and couldn't seem to find her place in the world. She went on to say, "And I think for us it's very different because we have light skin. You are not treated in a manner consistent with a black woman. You are not treated in the same manner as a woman of white race. You are someone who can sort of fit in between. In an article she published in 2015 for Elle magazine, Meghan discussed the grey area that being of mixed origins caused for her. In her writing, she stated, "To say that something is black and white suggests that it can be clearly defined. However, when your race is black or white, the duality is not as cut and dry as one might think. In fact, it creates a grey area. Being biracial paints a blurred line that is equal parts staggering and illuminating." She recalled a day at school when she and her classmates were required to fill out a census as part of a school assignment. Meghan stated that she had not checked any of the boxes that were available to indicate her ethnicity, since she was unsure which one to select. She went on to explain that if you were forced to pick just one, it would mean picking one of her parents over the other, as well as picking one of my halves over the other. My instructor instructed me to select Caucasian from the drop-down menu. "Because that's how you look, Meghan," she told me. "Because that's how you look." I put my pen down. I said, "This is not an act of disobedience on my part. Rather, it is a reflection of the confusion I feel inside." I couldn't bring myself to do that, to picture the heaviness in her stomach that my mother would feel if she were to find out. I said, "I cannot bring myself to do that." "So, I didn't check any boxes," she said. "I left my identity undefined. It was a question mark. It was an absolute incomplete. It reflected how I felt."